Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, November 16th, 2019. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already participating in the work, already assigned to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And part of that work is to really work to discern the messages that the host lives themselves exhibit, because the messages are always about the larger effort and the bigger work, and this has been true since the host lives were donated to the Project of Spirit, which has been quite some time now.
That's true.
So we've got some sticky messages that are not shifting, and therefore we're going to use this vehicle of a videoed session to see if we can get those messages delivered to wherever it is they belong.
Okay, so today what we're working with are symptoms that are being exhibited in that body-mind collective, and they've been exhibited for about 2 months all told, and the symptoms include a pattern of sleep disruptions. During the nighttime, when sleep is supposed to be happening, sleep not happening. And the symptoms include a tense wakefulness during the overnights, when the body is supposed to be sleeping. Instead, the body is awake and is tense. And the symptoms also include a sore throat. That's been going on also for about 2 months. And also in the body, a sensation, a feeling of exhaustion, and a feeling of weakness in the physical body, and also a shakiness in the physical body. And these are symptoms that have been described before as symptoms of overwork, quote unquote, illness patterns of overwork. And we're here today to heal the root causes of those symptoms and whatever they represent in such a way as to get the larger work unstuck.
And stop the destruction of planet Earth.
Exactly.
Inspire a divine miracle
Exactly.
to stop the destruction of planet Earth.
Now starting to soften my own energy body, slowing the vibrations of my own electromagnetic field, merging the energy bodies together, merging the energy bodies together. One of the first things we notice when we get into the opening process is there's this sensation like the back of the energy body is bombed out or has been attacked with heavy objects and with explosives, which isn't unexpected because the energy body is under a lot of fire all the time from a number of different directions and is pretty much constantly working to rebuild. Pulsing the toroid of energy for horse country through the vertical pillar of the energy body and out the top of the head, really opening up that hole in the sky above us. Really opening it up all the way through the ceiling, out the top of the roof, all the way up through that hole in the sky. Getting that energy really moving up, higher. And calling way up to those presences way up there in the higher dimensions who are already working to implement instant karma, not just for the best of the best, but also for the worst of the worst, in such a way as to provide guidance for the masses and balance the bell curve of karma. Reaching up to those presences way up there while flushing with upward flow, upward rising earth energy, and asking those presences, what do we do now to heal the root causes of these symptoms and whatever they represent, the feelings of exhaustion, of weakness, of shakiness, the sore throat, the tense wakefulness in the overnights. What do we do now to heal the root causes of those symptoms and whatever they represent in such a way as to inspire a divine miracle and stop the destruction here on planet Earth? What do we do? Well, what they're starting to talk about is dream experiences that have been coming up in the overnights in that body mind, in that host life collective, and how through these dream experiences we've been seeing other dimensional occurrences, other dimensional happenings. And there's one that happened last night, but there's also one that happened an earlier night, and I know that that's the one that they're referencing, and I don't have the details of it right now very quickly in my head, but I know that they're referencing it. Do you know what they're talking about?
The one that happened possibly 2 nights ago, the dreamer is in what looks like a nature preserve visitors center.
Yes.
And that a gathering is supposed to be held there, and the gathering that's occurring is not as it was billed.
Yes,
it's some
that's
other
what
kind
it was.
of gathering. And it seems to be a gathering of guardian angels because they're all responsible for a lesser presence that's represented by dogs.
That's
Everybody has
right.
their dog. And the dogs are over in a kind of a separate area. And the dreamer walks over to see what's going on with the lesser presences, and they're just tearing up things and humping each other and acting kind of like humans act on planet Earth.
That's right.
And some of the dogs have gotten out and they're running in the traffic. There's a highway right out front with 18-wheelers zooming by, and it's extremely dangerous.
That's true.
Is that the dream?
That's the dream that they're referencing. They keep pointing to that dream as having something to do with the overwork. And what I notice about that dream is it doesn't really feel like anybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Nobody.
From all of the angles, it feels like everything is going wrong. And I feel a distinct lack of, for lack of a better term, the hand of God. Something to show that bad behavior is bad and you shouldn't do that. You should be doing something else instead.
No, the smackdowns aren't happening.
Exactly, and they're talking about another dream experience that happened last night that came through this host life, where there was this group of presences that were acting as though there would be no consequences for their actions. And now they're talking about another dream experience that happened in that host life collective last night, where there was this group of dreamers who were partying and dancing and having a really big party, but were sending up reports to their bosses, I guess is the best word, in higher dimensions, that they were working, that they were in meetings, and that they were productively moving toward the goal that they had been sent in to accomplish. And it also feels like they did not feel like there were going to be consequences, at least not any time in the near future.
They were also guardian angels.
Exactly.
And it's true that the lyrics of the dance hall music did kind of say, we're getting down, they could have been interpreted as we're heading in the direction of fulfilling the assignment.
That's true.
But that wasn't what they were doing. They were just rocking out and feeling better for the dancing, which means karmic dumping is happening.
Exactly, and because they're guardian angels, it's likely that the karmic dumping was happening down onto the presences that they're responsible for, if I was going to venture a guess.
Like planet Earth.
Exactly. And you know what they're pointing to about that dream, that specific dream where the guardian angels were having a big party, is they're showing, it looks kind of like those 80s movies with teen parties, and there's always a shot of the kids walking in the front door, and they're showing kind of that shot of the guardian angels walking in the front door of the house where the party is, and next to the front door there's this statue that has the feeling of a reminder of that which you came here to do, that which you're supposed to do. It feels like something meaningful and clear as a signal of, and now we've come to this place to do this thing that we agreed to do. And here we go, we walk past the statue, we have the reminder like an entrance to a temple, and now we go in and we do the thing that we're supposed to do.
But instead we step in and forget.
Exactly.
And we're caught up in the party and the dance hall.
Exactly.
And we even shut the blinds so we can't see the statue.
See it. And it feels like as guardian angels are on their way out of the party, they're putting like Mardi Gras beads on the statue and stumbling down the driveway.
Like they're drunk with the feeling of no consequence for their actions and inactions.
And the angels are drawing the line, whoever upstairs is speaking, I mean, is drawing the line between this feeling of actions not having consequences in that dream and the dream that was happening over here, maybe at the same time, because it was in the same overnight, where there was this crowd of rowdy presences who also felt like there would be no consequences for their actions. And now they're drawing the line to the previous dream that came through that host life collective with the humans and the dogs and the really busy highway, dangerous situation. You know, the overarching sense is this feeling, this story, this lie, this misconception that there are no consequences. And when I start to feel kind of that hum, my throat starts to hurt more. So probably this is connected, or it wouldn't all be coming up right now. And what somebody in that room that I'm currently listening to doesn't really want us to ask or focus on, but does feel like it may be the point that we're supposed to ask or focus on, is about how high up does that attitude go?
That's a good question.
Because we see it in the guardian angels in the dreaming, and I can tell those are guardian angels, and I can feel that feeling, so that's easy to track. And I can feel that it goes up through the room that we're currently listening to, until about a moment ago we were listening to. And so really asking way up through that hole in the sky and seeing if we can get up higher. How high up does that attitude go of pretending there are no consequences for our actions? And also, what do we do now to heal the root causes of the sore throat, which feels connected to that misconception in such a way as to inspire a divine miracle for planet Earth? What do we do about that? And also, how high up does that attitude go?
And how high up do we have to go before there's a different attitude of actions having consequences?
Exactly. And someone upstairs is saying it's kind of ironic that guardian angels and their supervisors, the presences who by most definitions are the ones responsible for exacting consequences on smaller presences, are also pretending that there are no consequences.
We actually used to see this. I can't quite tell who's speaking. We actually used to see this in the era of teaching classes.
That's right.
Especially when we would get to the advanced classes, teaching the advanced classes, and the students would wish to look down on those lesser mortals, quote unquote, who were just taking the entry-level classes or hadn't taken any classes at all.
That's right.
And to pat themselves on the back about how advanced they were. And they would forget to keep going and keep learning and keep looking up. It was a pattern.
It's true, and when you forget to keep trying to do better, keep trying to reach up, you immediately start sliding down backwards.
So let's look up right now.
Yeah. Now it's very quiet upstairs.
What do we do? Tell us what to do. We want to know.
What do we do? We have these symptoms.
And what has worked on other planets with this level of astral lawlessness to stop the destruction? Because doesn't this look like astral lawlessness?
Well, I don't hear anybody talking upstairs, but what I know sometimes work is if I just start to work structurally with the symptom, and that might shake loose something. And just start with basic screens through the throat.
Well, one thing we used to teach in level 1 when teaching the screen segment is you can't just run it through the area of the symptom because the cause might be someplace entirely different. You have to run it through the
whole
and the surrounding area, like at the aura also.
Thank you. That's true. It's true and very important. Otherwise, you could just be tugging on the top of the weed and you're not getting the roots at all. Merging the energy bodies together more deeply.
Or you're tugging where the pain is being referred to and not where the cause of the pain is.
Exactly. Asking way up, what do we do now to heal the root causes of the symptoms of the sore throat and the tense wakefulness during the overnights when the body is supposed to be sleeping, and also the symptoms of exhaustion and physical weakness, and also physical shakiness. What do we do now to heal the root causes of those symptoms and whatever they represent in such a way as to inspire divine miracle for planet Earth and stop the destruction for planet Earth? What do we do now? What do we do now?